in this tutorial I will show you additional tools, and I will show you how the Photoshop Workspace is organized. So apart from the toolbox and the options and the main menu, you have additional tools. You can see them here on the right side of your screen. And there are many tools. If you click on one of them, it will expand. So this is the color palette, and this is the swatches palette, and adjustments and layers and channels. And of course you're at a loss now and don't know what each of them means, but that's okay. So these are additional tools, and there are lots of tools like this in Photoshop which you can use, and you can arrange these tools in your workspace the way you like it. So what you can do is you can click on some of them and drag it out. With these small arrows here, you can expand it, or then you can collapse it back. So make it bigger like this, or smaller like this. And you can group them together, like you pull this one out and drag it and group it here. As soon as it becomes blue, it will dock inside here. And then you can dock them to wherever you like. Here you can dock it as a separate column here if you prefer it like this, or you can pull it out and dock it elsewhere, like below here. So you can arrange your workspace by selecting the tools you wish to use and then arrange them in a certain order. You can do the same for the toolbox, by the way. So I usually prefer to have tools arranged in two columns, for example. You can pull them out and let them float freely here without docking it to somewhere. You can also pull out a file here, and then or you can dock it back again. So this is your working canvas, and then you can arrange your palettes the way you want it. They're now behind your canvas, which is rather inconvenient. So you see these kind of things. So and then you can group some of them together or delete them all together. Now we don't know yet which palettes we will be using, but supposing, like, at least we know we need the tools, and supposing you just by accident closed the tools palette and it's not visible anymore, and you don't know what to do because your tools are not there. So you just go to Window, and here you see all the palettes that are available in Photoshop, and you see that for example, the tools are not active, they are not checked. The options are active. Now let me click on this, and as you see, the options panel will also disappear. But I can bring it back again by clicking on options, and there they are back again. Also I click on tools, and there the tools are back again, and I can drag them and dock them here. And restore my tools one by one and arrange them the way I want, one by one. However, it might happen that you don't remember the name of the palette you just closed. So that's easy. You go to Window and you go to Workspace. And here you have now the essentials. This is the default workspace, so this is the default collection of tools that Photoshop thinks are good for beginners. And so this one is checked, and you just go and say Reset Essentials, and it will reset the default collection of tools which Photoshop suggests are the essential tools for working. So every time you mess something up, you close something by accident or on purpose, and then you want to restore it, you don't have to restore it one by one. You just go to Window and you go to Workspace and you reset your workspace. But now this workspace is fairly complex, and there are many tools that you won't actually need. So let me show you a workspace which will be fit for your basic needs. So don't need this learn thing, we don't need this library thing, so I just pull them out and close them. And color we will also not need, because color is accessible from here. So and swatches, well, let's leave the swatches. And properties we don't use, and adjustments we don't use. So layers, very essential, that's one of the basic ones. And usually I in my workspace also have channels and paths grouped with the layers. You won't use channels and paths for a while, but still let's keep them there. They don't take up space and don't confuse you. And history is something very, very useful, and I will teach you that as well. So let's dock history in this group again. So, and then I'll take this group here and I'll dock it here on the left. Let me collapse it, and I can make it, pull it wider or make it as narrow as I can, so then I have only the icons here, but that's enough. They're not too much, you won't get confused. And let's dock the swatches below this. So, and then, as I said, I prefer the toolbox to be in 2 columns. So that is the workspace that we will be using. Now, let us now go to Window, go to Workspace, and click on New Workspace, and give it a name. I name it Ottar because my name is Ottar, and say Save. And now, if I go to Window and Workspace, I see that I have Ottar checked here. So if I change my workspace, I just, I don't know, I open some new palettes here, like these things here, and nodes, and I don't know, like glyphs, and all kinds of palettes I have here. I open them because I needed them for a while, and then I deleted by accident some of the palettes that I really need for work, but they get lost somehow, so my tools are no longer visible, and I want to go back to my workspace. So what I have to do, I go to Window, Workspace, and say Reset. And it will reset to my workspace the way I arranged it. And I want you to arrange it in this way and save it with your name by saying Window, Workspace, New Workspace, and then write Ottar here. And not Ottar, write your own name here. And when you say save, it will say you already have a custom workspace. Do you wish to replace it? Well, yes. So now you have this workspace. Now I'll show you a little bit more. There are workspaces for different applications. So if you're working with painting, it will give you a workspace where you have swatches and brushes to work with. If you're working with motion design, it will give you a different workspace here, giving you the timeline where you can edit videos, give you libraries where you can import things from, and all kinds of things. But if you want to go back to your settings, you go to Workspace and say Ottar, and it will restore the workspace, and this is the workspace we will be using during our course. So please arrange these additional palettes in this way because you will need them. Save it with your name, and then you're ready to work with Photoshop.